seeing a movie at a movie theater is such a different experience than watching it on your laptop screen.
I'll have to try out one of these movie theaters.
They're gonna be big. They're gonna be big. You should keep an eye out for them.
This sounds so much more snarky than I mean for it to, but like, I have been to a movie theater.
Disturbing the peace with some peace of mind. Sleeping in jeans, I'ma need a night. OD on the cheap advice. OC on the cheapest flight. Lately I've been on the move trying to get to something. But I told her I've been running just to see the sight.
I'm so sorry, I'm so late, gosh.
It is all good. What were you out shooting? Were you doing something fun?
Yeah, I was. I took a morning Cessna flight over the Colorado Rockies.
What? That's a decent reason to be late to a podcast. She's like, oh yeah, sorry, I was in a tiny airplane flying over the Rockies.
I could.
Wow. You should have answered my call from the plane, just like, yeah, sorry, dude, I'm in an airplane right now. I'll be on the podcast soon.
Yeah, no, it was a whirlwind. It was so cool. But it was cold. It was -13 when we got out there. And
jeez.
Yeah, and I was going with a guy. A guy hit me up and said he needed to do it, and they had 2 extra seats on the flight. And he was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely."
Whoa.
But he needed all this footage of the peaks and stuff, and he needed it to be like super clear. So we were flying with the window open, and it was -13. And
What?
and like I have mittens which aren't really good for pressing the shutter. So for the most part, I didn't have my gloves on.
Wow. Oh,
and
my
so,
God.
dude, I was like, yeah, it was pretty brutal, but it was really, 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 really fun.
So it was -13, like on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah. So once you're in the
and
air with wind chill and stuff, that had to be insane.
Oh, dude, it was so cold. It was absurd. Wow. But totally worth it. It's totally worth it.
And they needed someone? Like you were shooting... was this like a commercial project or just an opportunity?
No, yeah. So he's got his name's Payson Wick. He's really cool, but he's
he
working
worked on my
this
van once, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's got some grant to do like an art exhibit on one of the walls in Rhino District in Denver, which is kind of like the artsy side of Denver. And so I think he's projecting a bunch of shots out the plane window of the mountains like onto the wall. And so he was just getting a bunch of footage. And yeah, he didn't need me there or anything. They just had 3 seats in the plane. And he was like, if you want to come, it's just the seats open. So I was like, yeah, I want to come. Yeah. So I was on the wrong side of the plane for the most part. I mean, it was tiny. It was a little Cessna. So,
okay.
But it was sick. It was awesome. Yeah. Just for fun, really, for me. So,
dude, that's sick.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you know the pilot, or is it?
No, so he booked it through someone. I'd never met her before.
Okay,
She's a local though, and
wow.
Yeah, I used to have a friend that was a pilot up here who flew Cessnas.
Yeah.
And we could just go up with him whenever, but he moved to Alaska.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I thought you had some connection with the pilot. That's crazy though. I'm a little sketched out of getting in a Cessna or a plane that tiny, because you hear so many horror stories. But
dude, they're so fun, and especially when you do like banked turns, because you can go basically 90 degrees on a banked turn, and so you're just sitting in there like, yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
It was really fun. And then my friend Ryan went. And Ryan was debating whether or not to take an edible before going. And I was like, dude, I don't know if this is the time. And we were joking, and he's like, yeah, I'd probably be in the backseat, just be like, can you slow down?
Yeah, I would have a panic
and then
attack.
They'd be like, no,
sure.
we can't slow down.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be terrifying. That's insane.
Yeah, and you know what's cool too is the way I met Payson was Payson watched your YouTube channel, and I was in one of your videos, and I think Jake's such a hot shot. I'm just kidding. I think he sent you a message, and it didn't go anywhere, probably just because you're so famous. And then
man, no, because I suck at all texting.
He said.
That's why I don't even respond to people on
true. No,
iMessage, much less Instagram. But anyway.
Dude, I know you and me are the same. It's like, yeah, it's a bad habit. But so anyway, he messaged me, and then we just kind of became friends. We just met up in Denver, and we've hung out a handful of times here and there. But yeah, it's just funny. You never know what doors people are gonna open, and that's obviously not the reason we're friends. He's not my friend because he opens doors for me, but also. It's a testament to how filmmaking and YouTube, like, you'll just meet people and you won't even, like, just be like, oh, yeah, they're cool. And then next thing you know, you're in a Cessna over Crested Butte with them. And
totally.
It's just cool.
That's exactly what, like, of all of the downsides of social media and all that, that is such an insanely beautiful upside, is making connections that wouldn't have happened otherwise. And they turn into such a, like, I don't know. It's just, you can find people that are interested in such a tiny little niche thing and then be connected to this whole world of other people interested in that same thing that otherwise would just not happen.
Yeah. And it's almost better when you find people who are interested in something that you know nothing about, because it's not, it's like, obviously going on the flight is like really cool, but I feel like there's so many people I've met who have just shown me a window into like a passion that I just didn't even know existed, that they love more than anything in the entire world. Man. And it's so cool because it helps you live such a diverse life, because you meet all these passionate people that love all these different things. And as the film guy, you sort of just get to point the camera at them, but you also get to participate in just, the maximization of people's passions and souls. And it's just so fun.
Wow. Yeah, that is an incredibly unique part of filmmaking, is you do get to really dive deep into other people's interests when you're documenting it. But yeah, that's also how you find things that you're going to be insanely passionate about as well. Cause there's so much stuff like that. That's just like, I don't know how I would know that this thing exists if it weren't for someone else being super passionate about it and kind of looping me into that world.
Dude, 100%. It's such a fun little world of, like, you never know what is behind door number 2, and then you open it, you're like, whoa, and then it just, you're led to these places you never expect to be in, and you never would have any reason to visit, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have a technical podcast question.
Ooh, okay. Hit me with your technical podcast question.
Are you recording on your phone?
Dude, I have upped the game this week. I'm on a freaking, well, it's still a little janky, but I'm on the Deity something mic Pro, S mic Pro, into a Zoom H6 with a janky little friction arm setup holding it. But it's another level up.
So yours is going to sound legit and mine's going to sound like trash.
It was basically my strategy to try and have way better audio quality than you on this episode, and see if we can get people to bully you into upping your audio quality.
That's a real noble thing to do to the audience member, is to not tell me, and then you're like, this way Shaffer's audio will be garbage, mine will be good. Dude, I didn't even notice, dude. I didn't even notice you're talking into a studio microphone.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see with my black hoodie on, but the truth is,
dang, dude, I feel like you're about to sell me a Squarespace subscription.
I know, right? Like shotgun mic directly in the frame. But the truth is, my audio in past episodes, just with the on-camera mic, has sounded so much worse than yours, because my basement is a little smaller and a little echoier, more echoey than your space. So after I heard that, I was like, all right, I gotta make mine sound a little better. But I've got a feeling it's gonna sound real nice.
Dude, it's really funny because at the beginning we were talking about podcasters and YouTubers and how they all have those Shure mics, and we're like, yeah, it's just like, what, like, all right, sheeple, everyone's got the same microphone, and they're like, wow, our audio doesn't sound really good, we should step it up. And then incrementally, like 5 podcasts from now, we're both gonna have the stupid microphone. We're gonna have the
Shure SM7B on the little pivot spring mount. Yeah, I know. I even said to you, I was like, whatever we do, let's not get Shure SM7Bs like everyone else does. And then I started learning a little more about them this week and why everyone uses them. And it was like, oh, I think I get it now.
Well, we could like 3D print them so we're talking into something cool. Like I could be talking into a pickle jar and you could be talking into a
tub of Play-Doh.
A tub of Play-Doh.
That's a great idea.
They could decorate them. Tub of Play-Doh is a pretty funny idea.
Yeah. We got to be special and unique snowflakes like we are.
I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just so crazy that everyone uses the same microphone for a reason.
Yeah, oops.
Man, dude, you're all set up this week. You got the new microphone, you got a drink, you got everything. And then I come in, wind-blown hair.
That's why I'm all
hands.
set up. You're on your Cessna flight, so I had time to make some coffee, get a drink, get my notes all prepped, get my microphone set up.
God, I'm an amateur, dude.
That's okay. I was a disaster last week, so I'm more settled this time around. But
dude, I'm still gonna beat you.
At what?
The podcast.
Man, you always win the podcast. Let me win once.
Yeah. No, I'm still gonna beat you.
Well, you already beat me this week because you spent your morning flying in a Cessna taking pictures of the Rocky Mountains. Meanwhile, I was shopping for Fuji cameras, and that's all I've been doing all morning.
Oh, I would love to hear about that. You probably also were smelling some delicious dog food.
Whoa. Easy on the dog food cracks, dude. It doesn't smell today. I live right by the dog food factory, and it doesn't smell most of the time, except for any time Shaffer's around. Then it smells extra bad when he's around.
Yeah.
Either that or my senses are just completely fried from living next door to a dog food factory.
It's so funny, like, the contrast. I mean, honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I'm about to crack a joke, but before I crack the joke, your house is really, really sick. Like, I make fun of it because it smells bad sometimes.
This is about to be one of those nice sandwiches, isn't it? You gotta compliment the end pieces and then just talk shit in the middle.
Right, exactly. Okay. Well, the shit talk in the middle it's so funny because your YouTube channel is so beautiful. Like, you're in these stunning places. There's all these life lessons, and then you go home and just smell dog food.
Smell dog food. Look at the highway. There's trash all over my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's just like, internet versus reality. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know. I do love the grunginess of a city. Like, even though it doesn't show up in my YouTube channel, I get so inspired by just like messy, hectic, chaotic, grungy cities. So I love living next to an oil refinery and a dog food factory and a railroad interchange, whatever you call it.
I can't say anything about that either because pre-New York City I didn't get it, and now I feel like I get it. So I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
There. Now I sandwiched the niceness.
Sweet. The final niceness was just, I'll give you a pass, I guess.
That was hard. I'm exhausted. So Fuji cameras, huh? Real quick, tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of goes along with being inspired by the grunginess. I don't know. I've just been...
Yeah, Fujis are grungy cameras.
Well, I'm getting there, dude.
Sorry.
I've been kind of getting sucked down the rabbit hole of like brutalist architecture, photography, and just urban street photography. Nothing special or unique, but it's different for me. Like, I've never gotten into film photography, and honestly, even photography I've never gotten that deep into, but I really like it. And I was watching GX Ace's YouTube channel, which was just so refreshing because it's so different than any other gear review channel.
Man, he goes so over. I mean, I say overboard like it's a bad thing, but overboard in the best way.
Yeah, like set design and lighting and having like this whole making YouTube videos from the future storyline. It's sick. Like,
it is very good.
Strong recommend on his channel. But he just fully sold me on getting a Fuji camera, and I'm so stoked on it because we might have talked about it before. The FX3 just crushed my desire to take photos. It's such an obnoxious camera to take photos with. It doesn't even feel like you are taking photos when you do it. So I just want to get a Fuji as this photo only camera, and with a big draw being not editing them. Like, you can change the look in camera, and then what it pops out is just what it is. So
yeah, the Fuji recipes. Yeah. And there's a whole community of people that will custom make different recipes for different scenarios. And yeah, it's a really cool community aspect of shooting that it does not exist in any other camera company.
Yeah, so that's so, especially since video takes so much work to take your footage, compile it, edit it, color grade it, add music, all of that. It sounds so incredible to have a camera that I just take stills of on a walk and then they're done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you get one of the fixed lens ones? I forget what the names
think
of them
so.
are.
Yeah, like the X100V is the new one that everyone is all over, and it's sold out everywhere. So I'd either get that one or the XE4, which is an interchangeable lens one, but seems pretty dang similar if you get a similar lens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dude, I support it. I mean, I think, you know, I'm not a big photo guy. I probably never will be. But if I was to get into photos, I would want it to feel different than just, you know, setting my shutter speed and my aperture and clicking the button. And, like, it's nice to have a little bit of, like, a little bit of a craftsmanship angle to it.
Totally.
That I feel like is a little bit less of a thing in video.
Yeah.
But I support it, dude. Buy that camera.
No, yeah, I'm stoked about it. This year is all about exploring new interests.
Wow, seeing life from a new perspective.
Exactly.
Nice.
No, but yeah, like you said, the craftsmanship piece, that I think I'm realizing how much that's something that's been missing from my creativity lately. Everything has felt pretty sterile and formulaic, and so now I'm stoked on getting more into that. Yeah, that craftsman side of it, like hopefully finding an element that I was missing out on. So then I'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I would love to. If I was looking at Bolex camera, 60mm Bolex cameras this week, thinking maybe I'll do it, but now I realize I need to not do that right now. It's so expensive, but someday.
I love how at the end of any CMG video where he talks about gear, he's like, so go ahead and buy that and hope it fills the void inside you or something like that.
Yeah.
Spot on.
That's okay. Honestly, you know what? Honestly, if I'm being totally transparent here, I have not felt that same void of like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not making enough, I'm not happy enough, I don't have all the right gear. Like, dude, for the last couple weeks, I've just been like, I'm doing good. I'm good.
That's awesome.
It's been great.
Wow.
It's been really great. Yeah. I think just because it was like such a thing for such a long time, I got a little burnout on the whole like nihilistic, nothing will make you happy, nothing matters thing that I was on. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Oh man. That's great. Yeah. I think I'm feeling the same. I'm feeling pretty content and stoked about like where I'm going and what I'm learning and all of that, but there is definitely just an endless dread with making anything creative, which I feel like now we could go two different directions. We got the Academy Awards coming up, which you and I had talked a little bit about, maybe talking about that on this podcast. But since we are talking about YouTube and like feeling happy with what you're doing, what's the end goal with your YouTube channel? Like, where's it all going? What are we doing?
I have my answer. Do you want to go first?
Nah, hit me with it.
The goal of my YouTube channel is to learn. That's it. I just want to keep learning. That's the only reason I do it. And it's nice because you get a lot of feedback. Like you know, other people in other creative fields, take painting for example, will paint, and you know, they go through the same process. It's like they're not going to stop painting, and a lot of times they'll make a whole work of art that very few people will see. But it's not like they're just like, well, did it. That's the end goal. I made the best painting. Now I'm done painting. It's like, it's what you do. You're a painter, so you keep painting. But YouTube's cool because you get a ton of feedback. It's like all kinds of people will get to see your work. And so it's like I could make videos and just keep them for myself. But it's nice to have the peer review side of things where I get to get people's opinions on what I'm doing. And so then it pushes me a little bit further forward. And yeah, I think part of part of like coming to like being at peace with things right now is I'm just really realizing like I am doing this because I love doing it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And like I'm not doing it. The more I do it, the less interested I get in the recognition and the notoriety and like being whatever it is, like the clout and everything. Like it loses interest more and more and more to me the more I think like, man, the deeper I let myself slide into valuing things like that, the less creative freedom I have, because there are rules and there are regulations to making that work. And I don't want to look back. I don't want to get 20 years down the road and look back and be like, wow, I made the same thing as everybody else. And I'm letting go and be like, I'm here to learn. You know, if ideally it would be cool to make something big someday, something long, like a movie or a series or something. But even if that doesn't happen, it's like, it's worth it. Every second I spend doing it is totally worth it.
That's so sick. And it's so like, you had said not getting caught up in the clout and the attention, all that. It's so interesting making things for YouTube in particular, because it is so easy to get distracted by that. But the people with the most clout, the things that are most popping on YouTube, is not what you or I want to make at all. It's like, the people at the top of YouTube aren't making art. Well, I don't know. I mean, in a way they are, for sure. But it's just like, it's more so, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just so different than you and I's end goal, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. And it's a dangerous thing to talk about in that sense, because on one hand it makes it sound like you're just justifying the fact that you're whatever size you are. You know, it's like, oh, I'm not big because I make things that are outside the box, which I understand like why it could sound like that. But the honest to God truth is just the fact that like, if you're gonna paint a painting, you want to find a wall to hang it on where someone can see it, whether that's a wall where 20,000 people see it. Like, I mean, I feel like that's what graffiti is too. Like, you spray it somewhere and like tons and tons of people see it. Great. Like the amount of people that see it is not what's concerning. It's more just like, I just want it to be somewhere. Like if I'm gonna paint a painting, it's gonna be on a canvas. I'm gonna put it somewhere. It's not gonna live in my apartment or whatever. Whether it lives in, you know, a coffee shop or whatever. I want it on a wall somewhere. And YouTube is just my wall. It's like, it's an easy place to hang things. And if it turns into something, great. And if it doesn't, I make videos. That's just what I do, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So that's where they go.
Yeah, totally. And I'm certainly not trying to, you know, to make an excuse of why like the things that I want to make wouldn't ever be mainstream YouTube. It's more so just, it's almost just like the genre, you know. If I want to continue to make things that are more and more like movies, YouTube just isn't, it's not a movie platform. It's a, you know, I'll come back to you when I have this thought fully formed in my head. Cause it's this picture in my mind of what's at the top of YouTube, and just a clear realization of that's not really the direction I want to go. So I'm going to try to go my own direction. I guess that's kind of all I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. No, that makes perfect sense. And it's just an interesting thing. It's like, what's the alternative? You know what I mean? It's like, if you were going to make a bunch of videos, it's like you either hold on to them, you post them on YouTube, or you post them on Vimeo. And Vimeo's not really a great place to post them for, depending on what your end goal is, for a lot of different reasons. YouTube is just kind of the easiest, most relevant place to put it. So that's where I put it. But I don't think I see this as anything like I'm trying to get anything out of YouTube in the long run. I just really just have cared less and less and less. And if I'm being honest, in the beginning, it did appeal to me. Like, people seeing my stuff and getting like some sort of validation from people seeing like I'm the guy that makes good videos. I feel like earlier that was a motivating factor, even though even back then I would have said the same thing I say now. I know for a fact there's a part of it that's like been appealing. But I lose that appeal just because, especially as just like, you'll see someone that you really look up to and really love, and then they'll mess up and be gone forever, and then their name is tainted for eternity. And it just seems like the clout and the fame and the recognition and the exposure seems like it just does things to people that I don't want anything to do with. So it becomes less and less of something that I care about. And I become more and more interested in just like, I want to be better at what I like doing.
Yeah.
Same with skating. There's no reason at all why I should be so obsessed with learning nose crooks on a skateboard. But for some reason, I know if I don't learn nose crooks, I'm going to be really, really frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me also, maybe this is part of that thought I was trying to form earlier, is I'm becoming, like you, my mindset's been changing over the years, but I'm becoming more and more interested in the small, tight-knit community way more than I am about the widespread recognition, and that's where I am seeing value in the direction, I guess, that I want to go for YouTube, which is so freeing, because when you aren't concerned with just the endless upward growth that YouTube tries to convince you need to do, then you just focus on this little corner of the internet that you're a part of, and just dive into that little corner of the internet. That's so sick, and in my eyes, so much more valuable than just endlessly searching for expanded recognition and notoriety.
Dude, 100%. I feel like a really good real life example of that being true is last year, because I always set really strict New Year's resolutions, and last year's was I wanted to hit 10,000 subscribers, right? So I worked really hard, whatever, made as many videos as I could. 10 days after my 22nd birthday, I hit 10,000 subscribers, and it just was like, cool. You know what I mean? The next year after that, my New Year's resolution was to not make any resolutions and to just enjoy, to just be super happy with the fact that I got what I wanted. You know what I mean? And just, instead of setting this goal, this future thing that I'm trying to do, instead just the goal is every day is to just be happy with what I have. That was my New Year's resolution. Just be happy with what you have. Last year was by far, hands down, 2022, best year of my life. Easily. It was epic. And 2021, I felt like all I could think about was this number 10,000. The number 10,000 was like a watermark over my whole year. And it's just I can't even remember anything other than the day I hit 10,000 subscribers. And it was basically the most useless stat. It's who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, like I said last year, I wake up and as soon as I would get sucked into that void of I'm about to hit 15,000, I'd be like, no. It doesn't, just, you've gotten everything you wanted. You got more than you ever wanted. Stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
And I feel like since then, things have just been more and more I literally have a hard time going to bed at night because I'm so excited to wake up the next day. My sleep schedule is literally go to bed there's so much I want to do tomorrow and I have to wait.
Yeah. Oh man, that's beautiful. That's so. And
that that won't always be the case. Life's a big old roller coaster and everything. But dude, it's just I'm so sick of this end goal mindset. What's the end goal? I don't care. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy now. I have everything in the world I need to be happy.
Yeah.
Except a girlfriend. Just kidding.
That's beautiful, man.
Thanks.
And you're kind of cutting out on me, but I'm pretty sure I got most of what you said.
I just said follow your heart and look at things from a new perspective.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. That's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm currently editing my year-end montage video. And I think that's such a big reason why I love making that video so much, is because it truly feels like the one video of the year where I have zero concern for click-through rate and watch time duration and all that. It's just I am going to make this video to compile clips that I'm stoked on that I got and memories that I love. And I know that 10 years from now, I'm going to go back and watch this YouTube video. And that is so much fun to make. And I have zero concern for any of the numbers and the garbage attached with it.
Yeah, totally.
It's awesome.
And it's worth mentioning, like, it's a luxurious position to be in when, like, you have the job we have, and we have a lot of freedom to make stuff when we want to and not make stuff when it doesn't make sense. So, I mean, we're in a super, I mean,
for sure,
kind of a trigger word or whatever, but we are super privileged to be in the position we're in, which I fully understand. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, if that is the reality of the situation, and I'm going to appreciate it. I'm going to appreciate it.
Because I'm convinced it's going to end any day now. Like, I don't feel like this opportunity is going to last forever. So, yeah, I'm with you where it's like, this is a crazy opportunity to have some flexibility to make videos I want in the off season and then focus really hard on the client work in the downhill race season like we talked about last week. Yeah, it feels like this is going to end any day now. So
no, for real.
Trying to enjoy it while it is the way it is.
It very well may, but if I look back on it and I think of the fact that the whole season that we're in now, I was just wishing for more and more and more and more. I'm going to be pretty disappointed because in retrospect, it would be like, dude, I had it all.
Yeah.
So I'm just every day I'm reminding myself, like, I have enough. I don't need any Gary V hustle inspiration. I don't need to set any goals. I can just sit back. Sure, those things are great, but I'm also allowed to just sit back and say, I have done a lot with my life, more than most people will ever get to do. Like, I'm super grateful. That's all. And that has changed everything for me. More than waking up early, more than going to the gym, more than eating healthy, that's changed everything for me. So
more than
that's the answer. I have more than Coldplay?
Cold plunges.
Yeah, more than cold, slightly more than cold plunges.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's the answer. All your problems. I have it. It's gratitude and Coldplay. Hey, the Oscars.
Wait. I didn't even share my end goal yet.
Oh. Yeah, but I shared mine. So.
Hey, the Oscars.
What's your end goal, Jake? That's what I meant to say.
Speaking of the Oscars, even though we haven't gotten to the
what's
Oscars
your end goal?
I didn't start my YouTube channel to make movies. Like, movies was never the end goal. But it's so funny because so much of what I love and I'm interested in now on my YouTube channel is trying to make my videos look as much like a movie as possible. I want things to look cinematic and to be lit well and to have interesting visuals and a good story and all this. So it's funny where, again, I think that's another part of my comment earlier of YouTube isn't a movie platform. The tip top YouTubers aren't there making movies, but I'm interested in making things look as much like a movie as possible. Now, that said, that isn't currently and hasn't ever really been a goal on my channel. It's not like I'm not moving towards making a movie, but I guess it is, I don't know, maybe an interesting thing for me to look at internally, because now I do think, even though it didn't start with that motivation, I definitely am interested in getting more into narrative work, more like produced, planned out narrative stuff. So I think that's part of it. But for me, my end goal with YouTube, I think, is just always to be an opportunity platform. And that might sound kind of gross, but there's two sides of it to me. Like, one side is you do what you're supposed to do on YouTube. You chase the endless growth, and eventually you just have to call it quits. Or on the other side, you make things you love, you focus as hard as you want to focus on being in the circle that interests you and making things for that circle that interests you. And then it's just endlessly going to connect you to people or opportunities. And to me, that's beautiful. So, to me, if it's a question of, okay, once my channel is dead and no one's interested anymore, do I quit or do I keep going? In my eyes, I keep going, because it's just, like you said, it's a wall to hang stuff on that you make, and it's an opportunity to meet other people interested in the same things that you are. So I know my relationship with creating YouTube videos will always change, and it'll continue to change, but I don't know that I'll ever stop, as long as it's just a place to post things that I care about and meet people and have opportunities that enhance my actual life, not my online life.
Dude, equally as beautiful an answer. I mean, what an awesome way to tie back to how we opened this. I was in a plane this morning because of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Not like chasing opportunity in this like money making kind of way, but yeah, life opportunity.
Right.
Having people and experiences come into your life that wouldn't have happened if it weren't for a YouTube channel.
Exactly. It's such a powerful tool. It's a crazy powerful tool. And I don't think it's exclusive to YouTube. I think just finding a community of like-minded artistic people will open doors no matter what, the genre is or the medium is. But it just so happens that YouTube is like it is the meeting place of so many people with a similar interest. And it's just crazy the doors it can open. I mean, you and me, dude, like we wouldn't know each other.
I know. Yeah, it kind of scares me how much your life can change just by making things and putting them on the internet.
Dude, it is an incredibly powerful force.
Yeah, and just how much one person in your life can change your life. That's terrifying too.
Yeah.
And exciting. But,
dude, I know. I could at so many people there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I could fill in the blank with so many people.
yeah, exactly.
Dude, and how about the Oscars, man? Sorry.
Yes. Speaking of end goal of YouTube, how about those Oscars? It's funny because this is the first episode of the podcast where we've written an outline kind of for things we want to talk about. Yeah. And we have not followed it whatsoever. But it's Oscar season. Well, at least right now it is. Now that
it's Oscar
now
season,
that you're listening to this, it's like a month and a half after the Oscars, I think.
Yeah, probably.
And it's funny because you had the idea to choose our own Oscar winners, and I have never watched the Oscars once in my life. I've never kept up with them, but now I'm invested.
Is the Oscars? Oscars is the movie one, right? What's is the Golden Globes the music one? Okay, I have no idea.
Me.
But I think it's Oscars. So if it turns out this is Golden Globe season and we're getting it wrong.
It is the Oscars, which I just learned is also the Academy Awards. I thought those were different. It's the exact same thing.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, it's movies, and then I think they also have a best song and best score category. But yeah, it's largely movies.
Well, it's funny because we were bouncing ideas off each other about what we should talk about today, and that was my idea.
Which is funny because you don't even watch movies, really.
I was going to say, I don't think I watched as many movies as there are categories to pick. You know what I mean? So there's like, if you counted Best Actress, I don't think I watched that many movies. The most movies I watched all year were on flights, and I was racking my brain trying to think of one movie I watched on a flight, and I can't think of a single one.
Dude, I thought about that after you had this idea.
The movies I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched Fabelmans just recently, like 2 days ago, and that's it. I also watched Wolf of Wall Street for the first time. So I'm going to be incorporating Wolf of Wall Street into my answer.
So this is going to be a very accurate and relevant pickings. But hey, listen, dude, it's fine. I'll pick up the slack because you're in luck. I'm a fresh holder of a season pass to the Alamo Drafthouse. So I'm watching movies left and right over here. I went to 2 movies this week.
This guy will never let you forget that he's a season pass movie guy.
Dude, it's my proudest accomplishment. It's the best thing I've ever done with my life. It's so great.
Okay.
So I already know what you're gonna...
What if I put it this way? I created more than I consumed this year. Now how's your movie ticket feeling, man?
I have to go. This has been a great podcast. I think this is the last episode.
All the time that you spent watching a movie, I supplemented by watching Modest Pelican gaming videos on YouTube. So,
yeah, no. On a real note, it has honestly just replaced time that I probably would have spent binging YouTube or something. Which
I just watched so much YouTube.
A big part of my goal for this year was to be more selective with what I watch and choose things that will inspire me and give me ideas and push the boundaries of what I'm making more so than just consuming junk food on the internet.
No, 100%. And I can't take any sort of moral high ground or like act like I'm so awesome because I watched so much junk food YouTube this year. I would be disgusted if I had the final number. So, yeah, it's all
Dude, yeah, if there was a YouTube Wrapped, kind of like the Spotify Wrapped, I would probably be horrified.
That literally made my heart sink a little bit because I was like, God, I don't want to know.
It would just be the most trash, like drama and
just like CoffeeZilla, Logan Paul stuff.
CoffeeZilla.
Which, I mean, not to put CoffeeZilla down, he's one of the best on the platform in my opinion, but it's not really doing me any good.
Yeah, he's great for sure. But yeah, if you are consuming so much of that drama news style stuff and not enough art and story and cinematography, then you're not really
a good person.
Then you're a terrible person. Yeah. No, then you're not like absorbing the things that you want to be inspired by and create.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off, eh?
Yeah.
How about those Oscars?
I'm sure I already know what your answer is going to be since you watched 3 movies this year, but what are you choosing for Best Picture?
My answers may shock you. Best Picture. Okay, this one won't shock you.
Wolf of Wall Street.
It's Wolf of... No, Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of my favorite movies ever. And it's not even fun to say it because they got all the nominations and everything, but a good movie's a good movie, dude. Like, it is a phenomenal movie.
It is fun to say because, man, they didn't have a ginormous $2 billion budget. Mm-hmm. Like, some of the behind the scenes of the special effects in that movie are so inspiring because it's stuff that you and I could do.
Filming on Blackmagic cinema cameras. And I watched another one of those YouTube things I watched hours of behind the scenes videos on that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so who cares if they got a ton of recognition? They deserved it. It's a phenomenal movie. That's also my choice. Everything Everywhere All at Once. For sure. Yeah.
If
it doesn't get Best Picture.
What's especially amazing is previous episode podcast I said No More Magic. That one kind of had some, it wasn't totally magic, but it had some it had some kind of magic in it, and I even liked it. So
wow.
It really was. It really was something special. I never thought Two Rocks with Googly Eyes would make me cry, but it did. So
yeah, man, that might have been the most inspiring shot of the whole movie. Was the two rocks with googly eyes.
Yep. Yeah. So that's an easy answer, I think.
Yep. If that doesn't win, I've never watched the Oscars, but if that doesn't win, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be more mad than ever.
What about Best Actor / Actress?
Easy, dude. I got this one in the bag.
Okay.
I've been rewatching PewDiePie's Minecraft series.
Oh.
And even though this was years ago, I give Best Actor to PewDiePie.
Wow. That is... That's a great choice. It didn't happen in 2022.
Not even close.
But I'll give it to you.
Hey, I got to work with what I got here.
If all you watched was YouTube all year, then I'll give it to you. Yeah, I mean, honestly...
Not only watched YouTube, I rewatched old YouTube.
Yeah. Dude, in all seriousness, though, that PewDiePie Minecraft series is one of the greatest things on YouTube. It's insane how much of a story and different characters are developed out of one dude playing a video game. It's you get so invested in it.
It's amazing, and no matter how bad of a mood I'm in, I put on one episode of that, and I hear him going, Minecraft! And it just puts a giant smile on my face. It's just so wholesome. It's so good.
Man.
So that's my answer.
My choice is way more basic and predictable, but it's too good not to call out. Freaking Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Like, I mean, yeah, now everyone's talking about it, but if you would have told me in 2021 that Brendan Fraser, the guy who played George of the Jungle, would be the best actor of 2022, I would not have believed it. But his performance in The Whale was stunning. Like,
man.
And I'm not even usually one to pay attention to acting. I tend to get more just wrapped up in the story. But it was just like, I don't know. It stood out. It was phenomenal, especially because that movie just took place in one room, the entire movie.
Yeah.
It required good acting.
No, I'm going to see that movie. That's how, I mean, yeah, it's rare.
Yeah. You'll
that I'm
love
like
it.
really actually itching to see a movie, but I will see that one.
You'll definitely love it. What about best cinematography? This one's fun because this one you and I are both pretty interested in.
Yeah, no, I got this one too. Movie's not out yet.
Oh my God.
My best cinematography award goes to Beau is Afraid, which comes out in April.
Famously
by Ari
known
Aster.
for the trailer. Beau is
Hold
Afraid.
up. I can justify it.
Okay.
As far as cinematography is concerned, Midsummer, beautiful movie. Mm-hmm. In fact, I don't know for sure, but I think it won some cinematography awards. There are tons and tons of YouTube cinematography breakdowns of that movie because it's iconic. It's truly iconic. And I don't expect less from Ari Aster, especially since he has Joaquin Phoenix in the next movie. Yeah. And it was filmed in 2022. So I feel like I can pretty safely say that it's Beau is Afraid as best cinematography in 2022. For sure.
And you would pick a YouTuber for best actor and then pick a movie that's not even out yet for best cinematography. That's the most Shaffer Nickel Oscar selections I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best.
Yeah, man. The frustrating part is that you're not wrong about either of those choices.
I know.
Because,
dude, I know. I thought about this.
Yeah. You can just, I mean, you turned me on to that Beau is Afraid trailer, and you can just tell, just that short 2-minute trailer, whatever it is, has shots like I've never seen before, and it's so beautiful.
Dude, I know. Like I said, it's my favorite movie, and I haven't even seen it yet.
Man. Well, my take is, again, classically going to be a bit more basic, but it's going to be interesting because my pick for best cinematography wasn't even an Oscar nominee, and I think it should have been. and it's freaking Greg Fraser.
Avatar.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Sorry.
I don't love Avatar that much.
That's okay. Sorry about that. Did I get nominated? No, that's 2023, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see Avatar in the nominations.
Dude,
so.
you know how happy it would be if they didn't even get nominated for Best Cinematography?
Yeah, I think that's 2023, but I don't know.
Okay. God, I hope they don't even get mentioned.
Yeah, you would be stoked on that for a movie you haven't even seen. You haven't even seen the original one. But anyway.
Yeah, well.
No need to dive back into old beefs that we have.
Oh, dive in. Yeah, because it's the water one.
Best Cinematography 2022, Greg Fraser, The Batman.
Oh, interesting. It wasn't nominated. I remember people lost their mind over the cinematography in that one.
Man, for me...
This lens was used on that movie.
Did you watch it? Did you ever watch it?
No.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it was on the airplanes. No. It was on every one of the 7 flights we took this summer.
I know.
Man.
No, I know.
I gotta say, and I hate to keep using the word inspiring because it's a very overused word, but that movie just lit a fire under me for thinking of new ways to get shots and stuff, especially because you would have loved it that it just wasn't clean. It was very messy. Like there was so much like water on the lens, like making the whole shot blurred. It was truly stunning cinematography, and it was so refreshing because it was so messy. You watch any other superhero movie, any Marvel movie, and I hate Marvel movies so much, it's like it may as well be a hospital room. It's so sterile and clean and lit perfectly. And Batman was like, wow, this actually feels real because it's not perfect.
Yeah, dang. I might have to check it out. It sounds pretty cool. Man. I love that, though. I love it when people are able to take the risk. And I think the counterpoint to the dirty look is like you do notice the cinematography. You know what I mean? Like on one hand, you could argue that the best cinematography is invisible, but that sounds right up my alley because for me, it's like I like feeling like someone really went outside the box.
Yeah, I think you only notice it if that's an interest of yours and you're paying attention to it. I don't know that the average watcher would finish the Batman and say, "Wow, that cinematography was crazy." I think it's more so if you're paying attention to it. You're like, oh, that's why this is creating this really raw, grungy feeling. But yeah, dude, you should, even if you don't watch it, you should at least just put it on in the background with no sound, just so you can see some of the shots. Like it's sick.
Yeah. Well, good choice. I think that sounds intriguing. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I think he got robbed for not being actually nominated. But hey.
Dang.
Now
they were probably like, it was blurry.
Yeah, probably. They missed focus a bunch of times.
Yeah.
What about Best Director?
Oh, yeah, I had this one figured out too. My Best Director award, I talk about it all the time, but it truly was one of my favorite things I watched all year, and that's Becky Sloan, the director of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the TV series.
Ooh, nice. For some reason, I had Beau is Afraid on my head still. Yeah. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Dude, nice. I can't say Beau is Afraid. I haven't even seen the movie yet.
Yeah, what a silly choice. Man, yeah, okay. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the TV series.
Yeah.
What was that, like
so good.
7 years ago?
No, it was this year.
Oh, really?
The YouTube videos came out like 7 years ago, but the TV series came out this year. Yep. And it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So enjoyable.
I need to watch that. I've only seen the old YouTube videos now. Again, thanks to you. Thanks to Shaffer's picks.
The series.
So I need to see the series.
God, it's so good. It is so good.
Where do you watch it? Just like channel5.com?
Yeah, so I had to use a VPN to watch it. For a while, it was on Spotify. Someone uploaded it to Spotify. You could watch it on Spotify, which was really weird. But they're out there. I know a bunch of people have pirated them and uploaded them to YouTube. They're all over the place. But man, dude, such a good, just so far outside of the box. Like nothing I've ever seen. It's just, and not only that, like it had everything. It was really funny. It was really creative. It took an insane amount of work to pull it off. And you actually really do get attached to the characters, even though most of what happens is so abstract and makes no sense. You're still attached to them, which is a hard thing to pull off. Truly, it's like I can't imagine the amount of work that went into that show to make it what it is.
Man, that's a good choice because you're in a series like that where there's not actors, and it's puppets, right? So you're definitely relying on a good director, like to make it interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely my pick. What about you? What's your best director?
I'm going for another real crazy out of left field choice here. Best director, 2022, Steven Spielberg.
Whoa, you saw Fabelman.
Yeah, I saw Fabelmans. Again, basic choice, but the dude was directing a movie about him directing movies, which to me sounds like an absolute mindfuck.
Yeah,
Well, and also to be able to make an interesting movie that's about you making movies, that's a tall order in my mind.
Yeah, that's kind of all we do.
Damn it.
But no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but his wasn't instructional.
No.
And you saw it. You saw Fabelmans. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I don't know. I was thinking about actually executing on some of the scenes where it showed an entire cast and crew making a movie, and then outside of that was an entire cast and crew making another movie.
And crew. Yeah.
Like
yeah, totally.
Like that just sounds like such a logistical nightmare to me.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. No, it was a great movie. I think the last scene made the movie worth it for me. Like, yeah. On one hand, it was definitely, like, for you and me specifically, very much a feel-good, like, oh, yeah, I relate to this for sure. It was really good. Mm-hmm. But I didn't feel like there were so many moments in it that really stood out to me as, like, for me, it was, like, I almost expected a little bit more out of it. But there were a couple moments where I was like, that is so good. So good. Like, the part where the grandpa visits the kid is iconic, and the last scene is completely iconic. And I felt like it was a movie that was like there were gaps between those moments. I don't know. It's just my review.
Yeah.
You didn't ask. No one asked, but
no, yeah, that's fair. I agree with you. I certainly wouldn't call it like best picture. I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it anywhere in my top list for movies. It was a good movie.
I think for best director though, that's a justified choice. I think I would agree with that.
I just was trying to play it safe and choose the most iconic director of all time. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't make a fool of myself and choose something like a movie that didn't exist yet or a YouTuber or something,
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't want that.
I gotta work with what I got. Oh, dude, it's so funny because I would love to make a movie, and gosh, I hate movies. I hate them.
That is really strange.
They're so boring. Even the best ones. Like okay, take Everything Everywhere All at Once, for example. Like, as far as movies go, I think I enjoyed that about as much as I could enjoy a movie. And still, the whole time through the movie, I'm just like, okay, it's all, we got, what, 30 minutes left? What, probably like 30 minutes, and then we're out of here. Like, I can't get lost in them. What? I don't know why.
Dude, you gotta cool it on the YouTube junk food. It's affecting your attention span.
You're right. You're definitely right.
Well, also, did you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once on an airplane?
No, I watched it on a laptop screen.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, I was gonna say, part of the airplane movie watching experience is, there's 4 hours left in the flight. So if I watch this movie, there'll only be 2 hours left in the flight. And so much of the airplane movie experience for me is just to pass the time. So I think you naturally do get caught up in like, oh, the movie's almost over. That means there's only 2 hours left in the flight now.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't do that. I just suffer.
But
it's probably really selfish to say, but anytime I watch a movie, I also get this dread, like, I wonder if I could do this. I probably couldn't do this. And then, I could do this. Or like, you know what I mean? It's like I get competitive when I watch movies, and I'm like, I wonder if I could have written this. I probably could have written that. You know what I mean? And the whole time I'm like analyzing my abilities and my skill, and then it just turns into this thing where I'm like, I'm not even having fun. I'm just feeling. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, I guess everything is a skate park metaphor, but it's kind of like when you go to your home park and you're just like, well, I got this place locked down and dialed. And then some guy who's never been there shows up and just destroys and is skating so much better than you ever have.
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, I thought I had this figured out. I guess I really don't know as much as I thought. That's kind of the feeling I have every time I watch a movie, is like, oh, well. Which is definitely reflecting of the fact that I take myself way too seriously. But I have a hard time enjoying it, really. I truly do.
That's interesting. I get that for sure. I feel that feeling often. And I don't have any cure or wisdom for it.
I don't want to be cured by it because I just feel like it's also what pushes me. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I want to be good at
that's
this.
What I was gonna
want
say.
to be good at this more than I want anything in the world, you know?
Like, I don't want to just, like, respond to that with that answer. But, yeah, that's the fact of it, is that is, like, a sick way to push you. I mean, just speaking from my own experience, anytime I've watched something where it bums me out at first, it's like, God, I'll never make anything that good. That's where it starts. But then it always eventually lands at like, oh man, I want to get one step closer to that. Like, it slowly starts to light you on fire a bit more.
Man, actually, I think probably Everything Everywhere All at Once is a great example, because like at the beginning, I was instantly so drawn in and hooked by it that I got all these ideas in probably the first 10 minutes. And then I'm like, I want to go do that. Like, I want to go like figure something out or write something down or whatever. Yeah. And so then the rest of the movie, I'm just like, I have all this inspiration pent up that I have nothing to do with, because I have to sit through this movie. That's also what's inspiring me.
Yeah.
So it's exhausting.
Interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Well, and also, the thing I'm always coming to terms with is you can't make something like that without a massive team. So when you see the credits roll at the end, it's like, okay, yeah, it took a ton of people to make a masterpiece like that, and that's the fact.
But
of
then
the
I start thinking, I got to start working on my delegation skills, and I got to start working on,
Well, no, you don't. You just need to hire a producer. Like, that's what a producer does, is delegates.
I know, but then you also are like, oh, I got to go looking for a producer.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I don't even have an idea.
Yeah.
I gotta get an idea.
I know. I'm so with
the
you.
Whole
it's an overwhelming prospect.
I can't imagine football players watch football games and are like, man, good job, everyone out there. I'm sure they're thinking like, if I was playing right now.
Oh, totally. That's the classic sports fan thing to do, is just call the players idiots for not doing it right. And
yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you were an NFL player watching an NFL game, you're not sitting there hoping their team does good. You're just like, man, if I was in his shoes right now, I would have.
I see it.
You know what I mean? You can only see how you would have done it if you're there. And I feel like movies are the same thing. It's like, which has gotten me honestly to write more. I feel like I've been writing more this year than ever, because I'm just always like, first I just need the story. Once I have the story, I can start filling in all the gaps. But God, just talking about it, I'm getting stressed out.
Dude, well, one last plug. You're gonna hate this comment, but one last plug.
Aww.
Seeing a movie at a movie theater is such a different experience than watching it on your laptop screen. Because when your brain is watching a movie on the same screen that you edit your own videos on and that you watch YouTube videos on, that's such a different thing than physically going to building with giant rooms with screens bigger than your entire house, it's so much easier to get sucked in that experience than it is just being in your house watching a movie on a laptop with your fingerboard next to you and your phone next to you, you know?
Yeah, totally. I'll have to try out one of these movie theaters.
They're going to be big. They're going to be big. You should keep an eye out for them.
This sounds so much more snarky than I mean for it to, but like, I have been to a movie theater.
Whatever, dude. You live in Gunnison, Colorado. We know you've never been to a movie theater.
I agree to an extent. I also think it just takes all those same feelings that I was
just
describing
amplifies them.
and then makes them surround sound.
Yeah, that's fair. It just rubs it in your face even more.
I think all of your reasoning is completely valid, but the fact of the matter is I just hate movies. I don't like movies, and yet I'm just hypnotized by them.
You're in a weird profession to hate movies.
Dude, I am. I want to make one and then probably move on. I don't know.
Do you want to make a feature length?
I don't really know. I know for a fact I would like to make some like 15-minute narrative stuff for sure, at least. I don't really know. I feel like I could say now that I want to, but not only is the industry changing so fast, I feel like my interests change so fast. I feel like there's usually a cycle where I'll get tired of something and then get invested in something else. And I have held on to video for longer than anything.
Yeah.
So currently I'm like, yeah, sure. I feel like that's the end goal, but in, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll be making something, but I don't know if it's going to be a movie or what.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet. But the just like the pressure I feel from just myself that like, I feel like I won't have lived a full life if I don't make something like that at some point,
Yeah.
So. Anyway, good choice.
Wait, what was my choice? Movie theaters. Yeah,
Steven
movie theaters
Spielberg. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
Do you want to make one? Yeah, you want to make one.
I'm
Come
honestly,
on.
I'm kind of, I really resonate with what you just said, because it's not necessarily top of my to-do list, and it's certainly not why I started making videos. I never started making videos thinking I would make a movie. But yeah, when you put it that way of like, if I go this far into it, will I have lived a full life if I never even try to make a feature length? I mean, just you phrasing it that way is like, shit, I guess I have to try at some point.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is, I think it would be really cool to like get something into a film festival that tours, and then you get to sort of like go to a bunch of different film festivals and watch people watch it. That sounds really interesting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because on YouTube you don't get that. You just see the number go up, and I would really like to be in a room where people laugh at my jokes and people react to whatever.
Dude.
That would be really fulfilling, I think.
Yeah, and on a maybe a shorter timeline or smaller dream, I've had the dream of just holding a YouTube event and just, getting like a few YouTubers that made a YouTube video they're really proud of and premiering, I don't know, 3 or 4 YouTube videos at an event, just at a tiny theater in Denver or something. It'd be so fun, because then you see a room with, I don't know, 50 people watching your video, and the excitement that you would feel with 50 people in a room watching your video. I don't know, that I feel like that would be a really mind-altering experience. Like you just said, totally. To watch people watch your video. And it seems so attainable to make this smallish event where people come to watch some YouTube video premieres. But I ain't going to plan it.
I think it would be really cool. I think it would be...
If anyone wants to plan it, reach out, because my planning skills are sub-zero.
Jake Frew Invitational, brought to you by someone else.
Yeah. Hit me up if you're an event planner, because I actually want to make that happen, but I do not plan good.
Yeah. Well, a bunch of friends of mine always make a ski movie every year, and then they premiere it at like one of the theaters in Denver, and they usually pack the house.
Wow, yeah.
And it's just like, man, that sounds like so much fun. Like making something and actually showing it to people and seeing if they like it or not in real time, instead of watching the stupid like number go up and the dislike number go up and the comment number go up and just being like, well.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway.
That being said, I think I would love to make a feature film, but it's not a high priority right now. But
it's no rush either. It's like you can,
you can be Scorsese and direct a movie at like 89 or whatever he just did.
Yeah, it's easy to be Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I'll be him someday. I got a whole life.
No, I know what you're saying. No, yeah, like you don't have to be young to do it.
Yeah, like
it's not like pop music.
Right, exactly. Or even YouTube, but there's not really a model for old YouTubers yet. But
dude, this is such a divergence of what we're talking about, but that's one of the reasons I think Damon Albarn, who's the guy that makes all the music for the Gorillaz, I think that dude is a genius, because he's older, you know, but you would never know because he's got these characters that are all young, and I'm just like, man, that dude freaking hacked the system. Because you could end up like Elton John and be top of the top of the top of the top, and he's still selling out. Or I guess he just did his last concert or whatever, but he was playing the same songs. You know what I mean? Gorillaz are still releasing stuff that people are still excited about, and Damon Albarn is old.
Yeah, wow,
it's cool. It's smart. That. You can hack it. Yeah, you can hack it. Yeah.
Even though we already got a lot of good picks out of you, do you got a Shaffer's pick of the week?
Shaffer's pick of the week. Shaffer's pick of the week.
Yep. I think this one is valuable to everybody. Ooh. And I think a lot of people, I'm sure you've seen it by now, but you've seen The Gap by Ira Glass, right?
Yeah, that's basically why I started my YouTube channel, was that video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So I didn't know this, but that is the second video in a set of 3, which I think they're just called Ira Glass on storytelling. And all 3 of them are really good. Obviously, the Gap one is like iconic, but the first one is so good, dude. God, it's so good. I like it more than the Gap. Yeah. It's essentially, he's just talking about, someone asked him basically like, you know, like, how do you tell a story? How did you get good at storytelling or whatever? And he just gives examples of like things that make stories interesting. And they're the most simple, subtle little tips. But I just feel like they are so helpful. It's like stuff that's so obvious, but to hear someone just put it plainly is like, oh yeah, I knew that. I just didn't know I knew that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, all 3 videos, which I think, I think it's called On Storytelling with Ira Glass. There's 3 of them, all 3 of them, dude. I've rewatched them this week so many times.
Sick. And that's on Vimeo, I'm assuming, right?
It's on YouTube. It's just on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that.
And also just Ira Glass interviews in general. Obviously, he's great on This American Life, but the interviews with him are really good because he awesome. Talks about storytelling instead of tell stories, which for people like you and me is like really valuable.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's one of the most iconic storytellers to ever live, basically.
At it, so that's sick. Yeah. That's really sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great recommendation, Shafe. That's sick. I didn't even know the other 2 existed, so I'll check them out.
I didn't either, but I was blown away by how good they are.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what you got next, dude? You hopping on a helicopter once we get off the podcast, or what?
Oh gosh, I wish. I wish. I've been working on this powder surfing video for forever, and I'm just going so hard. Now that I have that footage from the plane, I'm like, well, guess we're going way hard on this video now.
Wow, yeah. That's always how it goes. You start with a small idea, and then it just grows and grows. It's like, all right, well, this is a massive project now.
Yeah, so I've just been trying to get out in the Alpine as much as I can, and it's been really good. I've had a couple backcountry days the last week that were just all time. Seriously, some of the best snowboarding I've ever done.
Wow.
So I'm going to keep doing that.
Man, that's cool. I'm probably going to buy a Fuji and then walk down to the dog food factory, so pretty similar rest of the day.
You can always come visit. But that does sound good.
Yeah,
that sounded sarcastic, but I mean, I get it.
I'm actually really stoked.
So you really think you're gonna buy one?
Yeah, I'm
nice.
Like, I didn't realize how bad I miss photography, so now I'm really excited to get like a just photo camera. I'm pumped.
Dude, I think
really
that's such a good
pumped
idea. And having that for travel too, like something
for travel and
small, you can just
And again, just a thing that's not tied up in money. It's not to bring up fingerboarding again, but to me it's parallel to fingerboarding. It's this thing that's just there's no end game other than fun. Like I'm not planning on making money off it, nothing. It's just fun and interesting.
Yeah.
So
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that's great. I support it. Yeah, I'm excited to. It's not good though because as soon as you get that, I'm gonna be like, oh, I want one.
Yeah, dude. Well, I've been looking into rehoused Helios lenses too as well because you do the same thing to me. You're like, man, I want one of those.
I know. I can't tell if we're really good for each other or like the worst drug.
I know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Only time will
Como
tell.
te llamas?
Man, well, thanks as always, everyone. For if you made it to this point, you're a real one. We seriously appreciate you.
We just
around.
rehashed probably the exact outcome of the Oscars.
Definitely, yeah. Thanks for watching this rerun of the Oscars.
Oh, I have something actually. I'm gonna do one of those classic things where you talk to the audience.
Oh yeah.
To drive engagement. Leave in the comments for next week what you want to hear.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. Do you want to hear us sending messages to our future selves, or do you want us to write our own Super Bowl ad?
Yeah.
Or something else?
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly, we're always trying to figure out what to talk about. So if you're out there and you got anything you want talked about or addressed, leave a comment on YouTube, or I think there's some way to leave replies on Spotify. I don't know how, but there's one dude out there that's been leaving comments on the Spotify episodes, or maybe it's on Anchor. I don't know. Shout out to that dude, because
my man,
I didn't even know you could comment on Spotify podcasts until this guy did it. Yeah. I don't know. Hit us with any ideas.
Yeah, any ideas,
dude. I'm on the 100 episodes or bust train. I ain't even considering stopping until we hit 100 episodes.
Well, maybe our message to our future selves is we send messages for
the 100th
number
episode?
100, and then we could do Q&A, future Q&A. So we ask questions
Q&A.
for the.
That's a great idea.
For the 100th episode, Jake and Shaffer. Yeah, maybe we'll do that next week.
Because then it's incentive to even get to the 100th episode, which is a lofty goal.
And that'll be long enough that we forget.
Yeah. Oh, that's an awesome idea. I like it.
That'd be good.
I like it. Cool. Well, that's a great idea. Still leave ideas if you got any. And we love you.
Love you.
Bye.
If you don't like this music, you don't be listening to it. You know, I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, then you go somewhere but here. Cause you know, we're only losing control just for a minute. Oh.